Do you struggle to remember new words? You're not alone. Whether you're just starting to learn English or looking to expand your vocabulary, the challenge of memorizing new words is something we all face. But don't worry. I've got some game-changing tips that will make it easier and more fun than ever. If you want to unlock your full language potential, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss out on more amazing language learning tips. Let's get started. Imagine this. You're trying to memorize new word, but it feels like no matter how hard you try, they just won't stick. Sounds familiar, right? Don't worry. You're not alone. The key to remembering new words isn't in repeating them 100 times. It's in using smart techniques that actually work. First, start small. Pick just 3 to 5 words each day and focus on those. But don't just memorize them. Make them part of your world. Write them down. Say them out loud. And use them in sentences. The more you see, hear, and speak the words, the more your brain will connect them to things you already know. And here's the secret. Repetition isn't enough on its own. You need to use the words in real conversations. So, try speaking with a friend or even recording yourself. You'll be amazed at how quickly you start remembering them. Now, here's something that most people overlook, but it can make a huge difference. Use visual and audio cues to help you remember the words. For example, when you learn a new word, picture it in your mind. Or even better, associate it with an image or a story. Let's say the word is apple. Imagine a bright, shiny red apple in front of you. See it, smell it, even take a bite in your mind. The more senses you involve, the better your memory will be. But don't stop there. Say the word out loud and hear how it sounds. This helps your brain connect the word not just to the meaning, but also to the way it feels and sounds. Now, here's a little trick that's been shown to work. Write the word on a flashcard, and on the back, write a sentence using that word. This way, you'll start seeing the word in context, not just as an isolated term. And don't forget to review your flashcards regularly. The more you review, the easier it becomes to recall the words when you need them. As you continue learning new words, don't be afraid to reinforce them by using them in different ways. For example, try teaching the word to someone else. Teaching is one of the best ways to truly understand something. When you explain the word to a friend or even to yourself, you're forcing your brain to recall its meaning, pronunciation, and usage. This process makes the word stick even more. Another technique is to connect the new word to something personal. Think about how the word fits into your own life. If the word is adventure, think of a recent trip you took or an experience that felt adventurous. These personal connections make the words feel more relevant, and the meaning becomes clearer in your mind. And here's an important point. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you use the words, even if it's not perfect, the quicker you'll get better. Language is about practice, and every mistake is a step forward. Now, let's talk about consistency, because this is key to success. It's not about memorizing 100 words in one day. It's about practicing every day. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of practice daily can make a huge difference over time. Set aside a specific time each day to review your words, and stick to it. You could do it in the morning, during lunch, or before bed, whatever works best for you. The more you make it a routine, the more naturally these words will start to come to you. Another great tip is to track your progress. Keep a journal of the new words you've learned and review them regularly. Seeing how far you've come will motivate you to keep going. Remember, learning a language is a journey, and every new word you master brings you one step closer to fluency. So, stay consistent and enjoy the process. Let's talk about patience. Learning new words takes time, and it's important to be patient with yourself. Some words might stick right away, while others might take a bit longer. Don't get discouraged. It's normal for some words to be harder to remember than others. Keep practicing and don't give up. The more you immerse yourself in the language, whether through reading, listening, or speaking, the more your vocabulary will grow. Over time, you'll find that you can recall words more easily, and you'll start to feel more confident in your ability to communicate. The key is to stay consistent and to enjoy the process of learning. So remember, every new word is a victory, and you're one step closer to mastering the language. You might be wondering, how do I make sure I don't forget the words I've learned? The secret is to keep them fresh in your memory. One way to do this is through spaced repetition. This technique involves reviewing words at increasing intervals. For example, after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week. The idea is that you review the word just before you're about to forget it, which strengthens your memory. You can use apps or flashcards to set up spaced repetition schedules, and they can be a fun and interactive way to keep track of your progress. Another way is to immerse yourself in the language. Listen to podcasts, watch videos, or read books in English. The more exposure you have to the language, the more natural it will feel to use the words you've learned. It's also important to make your learning fun. If memorizing words feels like a chore, you might lose motivation. So, try to mix things up. Play word games, like crossword puzzles or word searches. Watch movies or TV shows with subtitles. And pay attention to how the words you're learning are used in context. You can even try using language learning apps that turn learning into a game, making it easier to stay motivated. The more fun you have, the more enjoyable the learning process becomes. And when you're enjoying yourself, you're more likely to stick with it in the long run. One final tip is to surround yourself with the language as much as possible. If you're serious about memorizing new words, you need to immerse yourself in the language every day. Change the language settings on your phone or social media accounts. Read books, articles, and blogs in English. Even listening to music or podcasts can expose you to new words and phrases in a natural way. The more you surround yourself with the language, the more familiar and comfortable those new words will become. It's like being in an environment where you can't escape the words, and that constant exposure will help them stick in your memory. So, there you have it. The key steps to memorizing new words effectively. Start small. Practice consistently. And most importantly, make the process fun and engaging. With the right techniques and mindset, you'll find that learning new words becomes easier and more enjoyable over time. Remember, it's not about how many words you know. It's about how well you use them. Now, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want more language learning tips, subscribe to the channel ChatSmart English. Share this video with your friends who are also looking to improve their vocabulary, and leave a comment below telling us which technique you're going to try first. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.